So I took a little trip to the flea market, Meadowlands, the weekend before Christmas, really. And I found some good stuff, and I trusted my gut and my spidey sense when I was hunting. Let's see what I got. I got some good stuff. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Why do I get the feeling that every time I'm making this journey to the Meadowlands, I should be playing the theme song from The Sopranos in the background? Although, I'll probably get a copyright strike. So I'm not going to do that. So we're headed off to the Meadowlands Flea Market. It is 47 degrees, which isn't so bad, considering it's a week before Christmas. And we'll see. I didn't get up as early as I wanted to. So we're going to see if we can find any good comic books. Do some hunting, see if anybody else was A, crazy enough to come here to buy, B, crazy enough to set up to sell. Although it's not windy, it's sunny, so it shouldn't be too unpleasant. And we're trying to see MetLife Stadium there through the reeds. And I always should check. I think I checked for the entire month of December that we were indeed, there we are, that we were indeed having the flea market. Like about a year ago, I drove all the way out here and it was closed because there was a Coldplay concert that weekend. So anyway, we're gonna see if we can find some funny books. Yeah. See if we can find anything. Nothing yet. Need some tires.
Wally, get him a pizza. Bring him back there.
Tools? Not my thing. My brother-in-law likes tools. Maybe. Been there, I think, because that had a lot of Omega Men danced all around the first Lobo. Got the second Lobo, but imagine at some point Omega Men 3 was sitting in there, and they were pretty decent condition. So I got like 7 comics. Let's see what else we got today. Got some records, comics, watches.
Can't get the back off.
Oh, yeah. Psychological stress
let's see what we got over here. I don't know if these are records or comics over here. 50-50. No, this I know. I've seen his stuff before.
Want the grinder?
Nothing new.
I'll be by.
And been through those.
All right. Can we get in here?
Into the comics, I think. Sorry. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Follow us on other social medias. Bronzeville_comics on Instagram. Also Bronzeville_comics on Whatnot. We do sales Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. However, the next 2 Monday nights are Christmas and New Year's. So our next sale will be January 8th, 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you've not yet signed on to Whatnot, there's a link in the description of this video. If you use that,
You get $10 off your first purchase, regardless of who it's with. Also in the description is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So, I woke up a little later than necessarily I wanted to. And I headed off to the flea market just because I felt like I needed to hunt for comics. Because I know like the next couple of weeks with the holidays, limited opportunity. I think the flea market is actually still open, but I don't think I'm going next week. So one guy had like books for like $3 each. I picked up a few. I picked up Infinity Inc. #1. I love that Jerry Ordway cover. It's a lower grade copy of New Teen Titans #39. This is where Dick Grayson gives up the Robin mantle. Omega Men 5. Second appearance of Lobo. Marvel Fanfare 12. Second appearance and first cover appearance of Iron Maiden. Marvel Fanfare was, I think, like an inventory flushing title that Marvel had. They had like these stories. They didn't know where to put them. And they had some really good stories in here. This was, I think, a 3-parter by George Perez, a Black Widow. And it introduces Iron Maiden, who we saw in the Black Widow movie. Then there was the only issue they had, Gotham City Sirens #8. And then I picked up this. This is also lower grade. New Teen Titans #38, the Who is Don Troy story. Great story. And then I picked up this. So those are probably, those are all going to go up for sale. This, I think I might grade. A 9.8 of this just sold for like $130 some odd, I think. This is Man of Steel #3. I usually put this in a spec pile. It's the first appearance of Magpie, who is a Batman villain. Very low-key spec. Listen, I paid $3. Another guy usually has $2 books. Not a lot there. I dug through. I got this, Adventure Comics 323. This is a low grader, but it is a 12-cent Adventure Comics Legion superheroes. Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man 131, newsstand, part of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. And this I picked up. This I'm going to throw in the PC. It is Thunder Agents #11. This is a Wally Wood book from Tower Comics back in the late 60s. Wally Wood kind of created his own superhero team. DC acquired the rights. They did an archives of this. I actually just got a copy of, in a collection, I think of issue 11. So the 12, the last issue? No, 20 is the last issue. I got 19. So, you know, maybe I'm collecting that. I don't know. So, then I went to a guy that had 2 piles of books. And a lot of 90s image kind of stuff. So, picked up a copy of Youngblood #2, the first appearance of Prophet. Jake Gyllenhaal was attached to a potential project that's kind of been on ice. I just like this cover of Chaos Quarterly, this Lady Death cover. I'm not sure I put it in. I don't know if it's worth anything, but I was just kind of digging through. And these were all $2 books. So everything here I got for $2. Then Gen 13 #1, J. Scott Campbell cover. And another very popular J. Scott Campbell cover from this run, #12. Angela #1, spin-off from Spawn. They had a lot of the amalgam books, so I picked up Legends of the Dark Claw #1. That's where they created these characters that were mashups of a Marvel character and DC character, and this is a mashup of Wolverine and Batman. And they also did an animated series kind of version of this, Dark Claw Adventures. And then just because of the name being used in a different character recently, the Spider-Boy book, which is a mashup of Spider-Man and Superboy, and then Spider-Boy Team Up for $2 a piece. Then I picked this one up, X-Men #25. This is the issue, holograph issue. This is where Magneto removes the adamantium from Wolverine's skeleton. And then they had a bunch of prestige format graphic novels. I grabbed a bunch of these. They didn't have #1 of Hulk Future Imperfect, but we have #2, George Perez embossed cover. A lot of these DC Marvel team-ups and other team-ups, Punisher Batman. I do like John Romita Jr. I'm not sure I'm a fan of his Joker. Not sure about that. Batman Grendel. Superman Silver Surfer. Green Lantern Silver Surfer. Superman Speeding Bullets. This is a newsstand edition. Batman Spider-Man. And then they had issues 1, 2, and 3, but I didn't come across issue 4 of the Marvels. Would have liked to have the complete miniseries there. But they did have the complete miniseries. Make sure these are in order. Yes. Issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Kingdom Come. Very nice. This is a beater copy. It's definitely been read, well loved. It is Batman the Killing Joke, the 3rd print. It's like a VG copy. But when I was digging through all those Image books, I said my spidey sense was tingling. And this guy usually sets up. He has a bunch of different stuff. His prices on his comics are inconsistent, let's say, because he's not really a comic book expert, but sometimes if he has a book he thinks is worth money, he wants way too much for it. So, but he had like just a moving box with 2 piles of comics, all this Image stuff, and I dug through it, and then I ended up digging most of the other books, like the Kingdom Come and all those other trade paperbacks I got. After I went through that, he showed me a bin of comics, and I think I got everything for $2 a piece. So, I said I think that because the way they were stacked vertically. It wasn't like a short box that makes it fairly easy for people to leaf through. It didn't look like anyone had touched it yet. And I think the fact that they were like these Image books from the 90s, people were steering clear of it, unless it's like Spawn #1, or 9 maybe. I did find a newsstand Spawn, but he did say I think it was number 8. He said he wanted to keep all the Spawns. So he kind of gave me a deal, because when I dug through the big tub, which he hadn't looked through, he said, set aside any Spawns. Fine. I set aside the Spawns. I set aside the books that I wanted, and I kept the rest. So I know that nobody had dug through this book because these books are on Key Collector, and that's usually the books that are missing, the books that are on Key Collector. You can see like when I got that second Lobo, that stack had Omega Men 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. It definitely, somebody had gotten to it before me. But I said, I think this is there. I think this is, a good pickup. This is Stormwatch number 37, and it's the first appearance of several characters, including Jenny Sparks. These characters have been brought into the DC universe, and James Gunn is going to be using them. And the 2 characters that it seems as though will be used at some point, they have not been cast yet. They both make their first appearance and their first cover appearance in Volume 2, number 4, which are Apollo and Midnighter. They do become, I believe, members of the Authority. So this is not a candidate to be clean and pressed. It does have like some spine ticks and some other, it has like this. It was in a bag and board, but it has this crunch down here. Any rate, still, in this book it's more than a $2 book. Let's put it that way. So these were the ones I was really hunting for. Happy to find them. You got to dig. And so I was, those are good because I'm pretty sure within Gunn's announcement was that he was going to use these 2 characters. And I think Jenny Sparks is the main character from this that it seems as though he's going to use. So that was my haul from the flea market. Let me know what you think in the comments below. In the meantime, you can take a look at a couple of my videos here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.